Hey guys, it's me, Ria here. Just hopping on for a Power of 3 message before I head off to the gym. I wanted to get my message in. I feel a strong urge and push to just share some information about this 1010 portal. I realize yesterday was the 10th, but from what I understand, the 1010 portal is in effect for the next 19 days. And again, it's always just to do with whatever our alignment is with our energy and what we believe. But as us as a mass consciousness create these events, we create these markers, we create these milestone markers as a place to create a mass consciousness in order to help us create this collective energy that shifts, that brings this greater awareness and light to us, to help us all as a collective to shift to that next level, to shift to that next frequency of awareness and enlightenment. Hey, good morning, Carol. Thank you for joining. I'm just hopping on before I head to the gym to do a Power of 3. So because it's a Power of 3, and we're going to start off with the cross breath. And the cross breath, to me, this image and this cross breath represents this 1010 portal that we've just gone through and are continuing to go through. It's almost like it's not just a portal where boop, you're right through it. Think of it as an elongated tunnel, guys. Think of this 1010 portal, this gateway, as more of a tunnel, not just a quick whoop, but as a tunnel. And we're continuing on receiving these high frequencies of light. How I understand this 1010 portal to be is we just ended this 19-year cycle, which is always also a 10, which brings us to a new beginning, a new frequency, a new shift in reality. So if you think of the old energy, how I like to think of it is as every portal, every gateway we're going through, we are integrating and we are illuminating, we are bringing into our awareness and allowing these higher frequencies of light. And when you are operating in a higher frequency of light, it creates a more even flow. Things become more fluid. Just think of the water and the waves. They're fluid. They go with the flow. There's not that resistance. There's not that sense of control, that sense of having to enforce a physical power. That is like kind of what I experienced the past 19 years. It's more of a control stance, more of a hardship, a struggle to create, to manifest, to be that being, be that reality, create that reality that you want. So in the past, we were taught at the lower frequencies that life had to be harder. We had to assert more control. But as we integrate through all of these portals, through all of these astrological events that we are creating, Power 3. Hey, Thaddeus. Thank you for joining. As we allow these higher frequencies and these, like I was saying, astrological events, meteor showers, all of these bigger events that we are experiencing as a collective, it allows us and just creates a remembering and awareness of the light that we are, but to allow those higher frequencies of light to be activated. And in that frequency of light, we become more in alignment to the source of who we are, which is pure love and light. And in that, it allows a flow in ease, because we're not operating so much from here in a limited light awareness perception where we had to force, we had to control, we had to create, we had to go against the flow sometimes and have this resistance like this. But now it's like this. It's more of a flow. It's more of an expansion. It's more of illumination as we step into the energy of who we are, simultaneously creating and projecting that energy into our world. It is so beautiful. In the past, we couldn't understand the simplicity. The simplicity of truth, the simplicity of God's source energy, the simplicity of our heart, the simplicity of this light that we are. Because we were so up in here, we kind of And it was for a reason. It was still for a reason. But we contaminated, muddied the waters, created these resistance, created these rocks, created these challenges, but all still to the benefit to get us back to this ease, flow, magic, synchronicities. That's what we are stepping into. That is what this portal is about. That's what every astrological, well, not all astrological events, because some are made for us to step back and to really take a step back and reflect, connect, observe. And it's always about that also, but I feel this is more of a forward motion, more of a forward stepping into new beginnings, new energies, new creations. So life is simple. It's meant to be simple. And I think this gateway is creating that more simplistic view. And the simplest way to be in alignment to your truth, to your heart, to your flow, to your energy is to step into that which makes you happy. In the past, we were taught that you couldn't always be happy. You had to fight, you had to create, you had to go through these certain processes to be happy. But really it just comes down to stepping into your heart and being happy. What makes you happy? Where is it that brings you peace? That is the flow. That is that light. That is the God source energy. So we'll just do the power of 3, and we'll start with the cross breath, and then I'll just see what Spirit wants to bring forth through a couple of messages. But the basis of this message is allowing the higher frequencies of light, the frequencies of light that we are to activate, to create, and help us to step into that flow and to let go of the resistance of the past, the struggle of the past, the challenges of the past, which were more from the mind, but to dropping into the heart and allowing those higher frequencies. The higher frequencies are a greater alignment to our heart, which allows ease, which allows flow, which makes life magical. All right, guys, so we'll take a nice deep breath in, knowing and kind of connecting to this imagery that this is the truth of who you are. Everything is energy. Everything is light molecules vibrating. This is as if it's your head. This is as if it's your spirit connection. These are your arms, opening up your arms, receiving and giving the energy that you are and grounding it to Mother Earth. So just have the intent to kind of remove the mind and drop into your own personal heart space. And when you're breathing in, that light is culminating. It is expanding because you are bringing focus to that. And when you're holding it, it's expanding all that energy and releasing it and moving energy out the door that doesn't serve you to be transmuted to higher frequencies of light and to release all that you are. You are the breath. When you breathe in, you are activating the life source within you, the God source within you, the love light within you. With that breath and that intention, whether the intention's there or not, you're still activating all that you are. But with the intention, it gives it that extra boost. So we'll just take a nice deep breath in, guys. Hold it. And as you're holding it, feel the tingles throughout your being. Feel the vibrating throughout your body, from the tippy top of your head to your toes to your fingers. And exhale. When you exhale, try to push that last little breath out. What it does is it helps to give those little energetic blocks that extra little push to release. And when you're releasing something, you're creating space for your light to further illuminate. So know when you are releasing, when you are letting go, and that also includes when you are allowing the process, allowing feelings to come forth, you are creating space for greater enlightenment, greater awareness, higher frequencies of light to shine forth from you. And as you allow those higher frequencies of light to shine forth, it will bring things into your awareness in your heart that you were never aware of before, because your light was not vibrating at such a high frequency. And now that it is, it will shine light on things within your heart for you to see, to become aware of, that you weren't aware of before, because the limitations of the mind or the energies of the so-called past didn't allow you to connect to those higher truths within you. So this 1010 gateway portal and time timeline shift is allowing you to connect to parts of yourselves that were never illuminated before, things that were never brought into your awareness before, but now your light is shining bright, which is a high frequency, so you can bring forth those higher frequency awarenesses within you. It's so beautiful because it's like you're discovering, you're remembering higher frequencies of light, of you, of who you are. And as you discover and connect to those higher frequencies of light and allow them, it allows you to shift to realities where you are being that part. You are living that light. You are creating from that higher frequency of light. That's what timeline shifts are. It's just shifting to a reality of the frequency that matches you, that matches your vibration. And the greater light that you can allow, the higher frequency reality that you shift to, the more peace, the more harmonious, the more flow, the more in sync, the more magical, the more allowing. All right, guys. So I will just ask for a paragraph that will resonate to our heart energy to bring forth something, to instigate, to release, to bring forth something within our heart that will help us to align to our heart energy. All right. What I got for today's paragraph is, it says God, meaning, the universal energy of love and light, the God that we are, God source energy. God works in the framework of where we are in the moment, physically, spiritually, for it is our higher self communicating with conversation. Oh, this is coming from another paragraph. Conversation with my husband about people being in situations they are because they limit themselves in their belief of what is possible. I was pondering the subject and trying to convince my husband this theory. It started out when I was feeling very blessed, not having to work full time anymore since the birth of our child. I felt very blessed to have a balance of working a couple days a week and giving up my full-time business, selling the house that I was working out of, and renting to be able to do this. My identity of being a full-time business owner was being cut from me. I was in a wrestling match between my higher self and my ego before I made that final decision. I was making room for a new life, as scary as it was. I was worried my clients wouldn't stay with me due to my limited schedule, because I cut hair back then. But I went with my heart to simplify life, even if it meant less income, and I trusted in this sacrifice. So what this is saying is, as we do shift and allow those higher frequencies of light, life does become simpler. But there is that struggle, there is that letting go of that old cycle. Just like we're completing a 19-year cycle, we're kind of having to let go of that old way of being, that old way of thinking, that old way of creating, that old way of thinking we physically need to physically work our fingers to the bone to create an income. We're letting go of that and we're allowing ease. We're going with the flow. We're going with the universal flow of the higher frequencies of love and light, which create more simplicity, connecting to the heart, allowing that, and allowing the energies in our outside world to reflect that simplicity, to reflect that connection, to reflect those higher frequencies of light, and allowing, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times before we, and even though we're in this tunnel, say, of portal of the 1010, we still could be, as we're going through that tunnel and coming out the other side, the old energies are falling. They're falling to bring us forth to this greater illumination, this time shift, this simplicity, this flow, this way of ease, bringing us to greater happiness, because happiness can be cut off when we clutter it and we filter it with all the old belief systems, energies of thinking this is what we need to do to be happy, all these different little components of what we think, what we used to think we needed to do to bring forth happiness. But it's really as simple as just going straight to the heart and connecting to the simplicity. Going outside for a walk, connecting with nature, or playing with your child creates a vibration that can bring forth opportunities that you never could have created by hard work. Those higher vibes of happiness and simplicity will create and project and bring abundance and opportunities that you never would have thought of otherwise. It really is simple. Just that the old way that is falling, we're operating straight from the mind, is allowing us to let all of those old ways fall. Working super long days, putting forth the physical effort, putting forth all of that stuff that we thought we needed to be happy, but when really it's just kind of dropping into the center of who we are, connecting to our heart and allowing that in the moment. It's the moment that allows the simplicity. When we get caught up in the past and projecting in the future, this is what it does. Causes all these other different components and energies to come into play that aren't even really present in the now. So all we can do is project and think and create things that aren't even in the now, that might not even ever come to be. We create all of that from coming to the center. Come to the center of the now, of who we are. Hey, good morning, Jenny. Coming into the now, and then through that now connection to the simplicity of being happy, all else will come forth. All else will generate. And I know that seems so simplistic, but that's the way life really is meant to be. That is what the higher frequencies are operating from. They're simply radiating in joy, high frequencies. And then in that radiation of joy, you will reflect, you will project, you will magnetize those opportunities without all that effort, without the struggle. All right, guys, so I just want to do a little, one of my little inspirational messages from these little cute heart deck, not heart deck, just these little daily things to think about. So I'm just asking our collective selves to bring forth the thought of the day that is going to bring us into greater awareness of this. Happiness, joy, alignment to our heart, bringing us to the moment, Because it's through the moment that we do connect to all those other timelines, to the God source communication, to all other aspects of us. All is available in the now, which is the heart, dropping into the heart. That is a portal that takes you to wherever you want to go through that connection. Because it is the connection of the frequency that creates that shift, that creates that timeline that you connect to. And the heart is that pure God source energy speaking to you. So if you just drop into it and allow it, that connects you to the highest frequency of who you are. And then that will be created. I know I'm seeming really repetitive. I guess Spirit is just really wanting us to bring us to the center, bring us to the now, connecting to that, just that truth of happiness. And then we create that flow on the outside. All right. What card? Holy crap. Okay, here we go. What you're searching for is not out there, it's in you. That's our message for today, guys. What we are searching for is not out there, it is in here. And when we connect to here, then that will reflect what we are searching for, if that makes sense. It doesn't get any simpler than that. A lot of us in the past, and say in that 19-year cycle we're moving out of, to shift through the portal of a truer frequency of who we are, which just means allowing and integrating and emanating those higher frequencies of light. When we were doing that before, we were searching on the outside things to make us happy. An education, a partnership, a relationship, a place to live, a career, thinking we had to take all those paths to find ourselves, thinking all those paths were that line to us and our happiness and fulfillment, when it really isn't. It's going within, connecting to who you are in your fulfillment in here, and letting the outside bring you the opportunities, letting the outside create those paths of fulfillment. But first, connecting to who you are, listening to your heart, coming to the now, and in the now connection of who you are, the outside world will present those paths, will present those people, will present those jobs, will present those places, inspirations that come forth from within you to move forward. Not the other way around, guys. So hopefully this message made sense to you. It's just allowing the higher frequencies of light. How do you allow the higher frequencies of light? Come to the moment of the now. Connect to your heart. All right, guys. I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful day. Continue going through that portal and allowing the higher frequencies of light to shine forth. Let me see if there's any light out here, guys. Trust. Hey, Kim. Ow! My knees. Ouch. I was kneeling on the hard concrete. Okay, there we go. And here comes the sun instantly. Kim said truth. Yes. What does it say? Hi, Ria. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yes. All right, the sun popped out for that 1 second. Let me see her. All right, guys. Oh, that's kind of a cool... It's like that sun is coming forth through this the cloud, almost as if it's showing us going through the portal and the veils and the realities of what we used to believe dissipating and thinning to step more fully into that light, to integrate, to allow those higher frequencies of light. That's what we're going through, guys. As a mass consciousness and as individuals, we are just allowing the higher frequencies of light. That's all we need to do. It's that simple. Allow the light to come forth. And how do you know what the light is and how it's coming forth? It's just breathing. You are the breath. You are activating all that you are, allowing and trust, like the very wise chemistry just said. Allow. It's peeking out. Anyways, may you guys all shine with the entirety of all the light that you are.